guys, it's Kailyn May, and I guess welcome to my channel. I started this channel to kind of share my story and spread awareness to chronic illness. But today's video is gonna be like an introduction of and like all about me. So let's move on. To start off, I am 16 years old and I am a junior in high school. I am active in the club FCCLA at my high school. And well, from a school standpoint, that's really about it. I can say that after I graduate next school year, which I'm a class of 22 graduate, I will be going to college to study to be a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. But anyways, so that's that about me. As far as like hobbies and stuff, my hobbies are singing and songwriting, playing guitars and stuff. I mean, you can see the guitars and the ukulele on the wall. I've done theater. I was in a musical called Oklahoma in July of last year. You can kind of see the thing back there on the wall. But that's just like, like I said, the hobbies and stuff. I used to play soccer, used to be a gymnast and a dancer, but chronic illness kind of took that away from me. So for me, I fight Ehlers Danlos syndrome, which, if you've never heard of that before, Ehlers Danlos syndrome is a connective tissue disorder with 13 subtypes. It is genetic, but one of the genes are not known. One of the biggest things with Ehlers Danlos is like hypermobility, subluxating joints, dislocating joints, stuff like that. On top of that, I have something called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. POTS is a form of dysautonomia, basically where your autonomic nervous system is messed up. And POTS can cause you to get really dizzy, and it can cause you to pass out. Basically, when you stand up, all the blood pulls down to your legs, your heart has to work faster, and it can't really get blood flow everywhere else, so it keeps working faster and faster and faster, and it kind of leads to that. On top of that, I have Osteogenesis Imperfecta, which is a genetic brittle bone disease. I have the mildest form of that, and recently, in the past years, knock on wood, I haven't really had to fight with Osteogenesis Imperfecta because my breaks have been kind of on the down low, and EDS has been my main issue. On top of that, as you can see here, I have this feeding tube. This is an NJ feeding tube. So the NJ bypasses my stomach and goes to the second part of the small intestine called the jejunum. I have this due to GI issues. We are not 100% sure exactly what the GI issues are just yet. With Ehlers Danlos, I was showing symptoms all my life, and we really had no idea. But when I was 11 years old, that's when I became more symptomatic and everything. I was tested for countless of different things, and at one point they were like, oh, maybe it's cancer, and for whatever reason. And at one point, abuse was actually questioned, which I was not abused. But at the age of 13, on September 27th, 2017, I was diagnosed with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. And then, since at the time, my biggest issues were definitely the fractures. At the time, the fractures were overpowering the EDS stuff, which fractures broken bone. In case you don't know, it's the exact same thing. Fracture is medical term for broken bone. But I was diagnosed after having a bone density scan and genetic testing done. I was diagnosed with Osteogenesis Imperfecta in December of 2017. The exact date I cannot remember off the top of my head. In January, I almost said July, January of last year, so January 2019, I started to really show symptoms of POTS. I had all the signs and the symptoms, and I have a neurologist, so my mom's like, okay, well, some of this seems like neurological, and we saw my neurologist, who then contacted my cardiologist, and my cardiologist was like, it sounds like POTS. So the cardiologist I see for EDS, instead of seeing me for POTS, he sent me to another cardiologist at the Pediatric Heart Institute, who deals with forms of dysautonomia and who will see you until you're 18 and then send you to the Dysautonomic Functions Clinic. So this date's easy to remember because on June 26th, 2019, I was diagnosed with POTS. The only reason why that's very easy to remember is because I was born on June 26, 2004. So my 15th birthday, I was diagnosed with POTS. Even funnier, I was born June 26th at 10:09 a.m. My appointment that day was at 10 o'clock, meaning I was in the middle of testing and stuff, getting diagnosed and stuff at 10:09 a.m. while I was at that appointment. So, what a nice 15th birthday gift last year. As far as the GI issues go, I don't know how long it has truly been going on or what's been going on. I'm still in the diagnosis process. I do know that when I was younger, I was staying underweight, but even though I was getting nutrition, and I know that I was considered failure to thrive when I was younger, but I never had to be tubed or anything like that to try to get my weight up, because eventually I finally started getting my weight somewhere. And so we don't think that that has anything to do with that. We do know, though, that I was once failure to thrive when I was younger. But July of last year is when I started to really notice the GI symptoms that I have now, which it started off with, I was trying to increase my fluid intake and my salt intake with POTS, and I noticed that I went from drinking very little sips to drinking more, and it was making me nauseous, and I was like, whatever. And it was just one day I noticed that, and I was like, whatever. And then it started off with just nausea, and then the next thing I know, a little later on down the road, anything I ate or drank, I was getting nauseous. After a few hours, I was throwing it up. I would get here and there, abdominal pain, and I knew it wasn't normal. So I started seeing GI, who did an endoscopy, told me the endoscopy was normal and that they were concerned it was gastroparesis, and never tested me for it at the time or anything. Put me on medication that I said wasn't helping, put me on another one, and kept me on the one that wasn't helping, and I kept trying to say both weren't helping. And then this year, around April, I noticed I was getting severely worse. Over time, I was getting worse, but it was in April when I noticed it was getting severe. And I was getting little to no intake. In about May, I was getting 1 to 2 bites of food, and then I would have extreme pain. It would still sit there for a couple hours and I would throw up. And then about middle of May through beginning of June, I had to see my GI, who told me to do nutrition shakes, which I had already done, and I was obviously not tolerating that. They did a GES, which is a gastric emptying scan. Still have no answers from that because I was told it was delayed, but then told it was normal, which, come to find out, it was actually delayed. And then I had another scan done that was normal recently, but that's besides the point. And then in June, after that GI and my POTS doctor talk, I wound up with the NJ tube. But I now see a new GI, and I still have no diagnosis. We still have no idea what it is, especially because I had one delayed test, one normal test. So we seriously still, to this day, don't really know. So from that standpoint, that's the each diagnosing time and everything. I do want to say that I can link my Instagram and my TikTok in the the description below. And that I hope you guys enjoy the video and follow along on my channel. There will be multiple different things on this channel, like just like following along with me places, awareness videos, obviously awareness videos. I'll make this channel fun and stuff. And I don't have an exact day that I will be posting, but you will mainly see like posting updates. You will probably mainly see those on TikTok. So I hope everybody enjoys this video.